5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank the committee for holding this most important hearing today. Very important. Mr. Ballard, Ms. Cantu, Ms. Snodgrass, Mr. Jeanette, thank you for your testimony. Mr. Ballard, I've had the opportunity to visit a safe house in Tijuana, Mexico, where minors were rescued from sex slavery south of the border. Met an 18-year-old baby girl rescued from a prostitution house just south of the border. Horrific stuff. Recently, I visited the Orange County Juvenile Hall. The #1 reason young ladies were in jail, child prostitution. And so your testimony regarding our nation's appetite for child sex is disgusting. True, but disgusting. Thank you for your testimony, sir. And Ms. Cantu, does your husband wear a blue or a green uniform?
Thank you for that question. I hear often the colors get confused. Our Border Patrol agents wear green. We wave our green line flags.
So he wears a green uniform.
Correct. Customs is blue.
Thank you for service. I've been out there spending time with folks in green and blue to better understand their challenges. So thank him on my behalf for his work. And Ms. Snodgrass, I'm also a father. I pray every day that my children stay away from this poison because it is ravaging the streets back home as well. Mr. Gennert,
That's
say
fine.
that?
Gallant, yes, that's fine.
Alert. Refugees, we talk about south of the border, but I think this is a worldwide issue today. I mean, I turn on the TV, I see boats flipping over in the Mediterranean, refugees trying to move from subcontinent to the European area. I think this is a worldwide challenge. Here in the Americas, I know Colombia is housing now, it's up to 3 million Venezuelan refugees. And I just returned from Guatemala, where that Guatemalan president had a few words for us saying, we need help addressing the refugee crisis. This is a worldwide phenomena that was made even worse by COVID-19 that has devastated the economies around the world. And I hope all of us as Americans can begin to address that issue because nobody, especially the refugees, are not doing well from this challenge. Recently, one of my trips to the Texas border, I ran across 2 little girls from Ecuador, Yareli and Yasmina, ages 3 and 5. And here, as you can see, is where they were rescued. This is the 2 girls that were thrown over the border wall. 14-foot wall they were launched over by the smugglers. And the only reason they're still alive, Ms. Cantu, is because green uniformed border officers were able to spot them in the middle of nowhere and bring them to safety in the middle of the night. So thank your husband again for the good work they're doing. People forget about their humanitarian heart, but the good work they're doing. But this is a border wall that they were able to essentially be thrown over. And I guess, Mr. Gellner, what is driving these folks north? What would make you essentially turn over your most precious things you have in your life, which is your children, to unknown smugglers to smuggle them into the United States?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I think what's driving them is not U.S. policy, but the real danger and horrendous conditions. And
this is a worldwide issue.
Right, and the only way I think, when I was in Guatemala, I met a father and I asked him why he sent his teenage son to the United States. And he said, well, the beginning of the school year, the gang slipped something under his door saying, we know all your children, we know where they go to school, we know the routes they take, and if they don't join the gang, they're gonna be killed. And so he said to me it was the hardest decision he had ever had to make, but there's just too much danger, and I think that's what's pushing people. Nobody really wants to make the trek to the United States if they don't have to, thousands of miles with a little child. And so that's what's pushing them to come here. And I hope that we can continue to have a humane, appropriate, lawful asylum system.
And if
for
I
those who
can,
are
I'm going to
fleeing
interrupt you
danger.
because I'm running out of time before the chairman cuts me off. I want to say, I don't want to minimize the fact that we have a challenge, an immigration, a refugee challenge in our southern border in this country, and we need to focus on that. But I think we also have to understand the context, which is a worldwide phenomenon. And look forward to working with the folks across the aisle to figure this one out. Real lives are at stake here, and so is our nation. Thank you very much, and I yield, Mr. Chairman.